Lesson 312. I see all things as I would have them be.
Hi there. How about we try seeing the world around us from a different perspective today, just to discover how our viewpoint can actually impact the world we perceive? Intriguing, isn't it? Let's dive into Lesson 312 and uncover the treasures it has in store for us.
I see all things as I would have them be.
Perception follows judgment. Having judged, we therefore see what we would look upon. For sight can merely serve to offer us what we would have. It is impossible to overlook what we would see, and fail to see what we have chosen to behold. How surely, therefore, must the real world come to greet the holy sight of anyone who takes the Holy Spirit's purpose as his goal for seeing. And he cannot fail to look upon what Christ would have him see, and share Christ's love for what he looks upon. I have no purpose for today except to look upon a liberated world, set free from all the judgments I have made. Father, this is your will for me today, and therefore it must be my goal as well.
In other words, this lesson seems to touch on the concept of self-fulfilling prophecies, where our expectations or beliefs about a person or situation lead to behaviors that make the anticipated outcome more likely to occur. In psychology, these types of mechanisms are well documented. Our expectations influence us to behave in ways that prompt others or the situation to conform to our original expectations. For instance, if we believe our brother is rude, we might approach them in such a defensive way that we provoke the very rudeness we anticipated. Interestingly, this dynamic also plays out in educational and organizational contexts, where the expectations of teachers, managers, or leaders can significantly shape the performance and behavior of students or employees. When there are high expectations for someone, whether a student or an employee, this often leads to improved performance, a phenomenon known in psychology as the Pygmalion effect. Conversely, low expectations tend to result in diminished performance, which is referred to as the golem effect. In the framework of A Course in Miracles, we elevate this concept even further. Perceiving the world differently not only operates through the psychological mechanisms previously described, but it also functions at a metaphysical level. Our judgments shape what we see, and what we see influences the manifestation of our external reality. But remember, we have the power to choose to perceive things differently.
Lesson 152. The power of decision is my own.
In other words, perception is a choice. We can choose to perceive, to see things differently.
Lesson 21. I am determined to see things differently.
We often believe we see things and then we judge them, but in reality, it happens the other way around. As we've learned in previous lessons, projection makes perception, or projection comes before perception. Or, as today's lesson teaches us, perception follows judgment. So, if it's all a matter of choice, how can we choose to see the world around us? How about we see it through the eyes of Christ?
Lesson 270. I will not use the body's eyes today.
How about we see it through the eyes of love? How about we see brothers in everyone? And even when they may not act in the most lovable manner, can we still recognize them as our brothers? Might we consider that they are simply grappling with their own battles and that they are doing their best? We can hold compassion and empathy because we know that, in truth, nobody can spiritually harm us when we are aligned with our true inner self, with who we are. So, by allowing the Holy Spirit to guide our perception, we begin to view the world anew, a world liberated from our judgments. We then feel love for everyone and everything because love is what we expect to see. Let's embrace this as our task for today, the task of the miracle workers.
I see all things as I would have them be.
I see all things as I would have them be.
I see all things as I would have them be.
What do you think about that? Isn't it remarkable how by shifting our expectations, we can alter our actual perceptions? Isn't it incredible how by changing what we expect to see we can actually change what we do see? Yet, even if this concept isn't new to you, recall that it's less about intellectual understanding and more about active practice. Hold this thought close throughout the day and observe how the world might indeed manifest accordingly. Continue with your practices both in the morning and evening, and make an effort to recall today's idea every hour. If at any point you find yourself forgetting that you are responsible for how you perceive the world, promptly remind yourself,
I see all things as I would have them be.
And as we continue our exploration of the section What is the Last Judgment, today's lesson reminds us that true perception is a choice and that the real world manifests from loving and non-judgmental sight. By choosing to look upon the world without condemnation, we align with God's vision and see the beauty and innocence that lies beyond our judgments. This shift allows us to witness a liberated world, freed from illusions of fear and separation. But if you haven't watched the introduction to this section, you can find a link on your screen at the end of this video or check the video description below for the link to section 10.
I see all things as I would have them be.
I see all things as I would have them be.
I see all things as I would have them be.
You're doing wonderfully. See you tomorrow for another powerful lesson. Quick note before you go. Let's take a moment to appreciate the generosity of those who have supported these videos. It's their contributions that make these daily lessons possible. Please consider joining them. And thank you for being a part of this community of miracle workers.
There's a lot of love behind these videos. If you enjoyed what you watched, please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day.